the quick numbers on the next one was we bought it, and this was actually a BRRRR deal, where we bought it because I'd heard you talk about the BRRRR thing before, but I thought you were like it was a multi-level marketing scheme or like snake oil, it's like it can't be true. But we
Do you want to explain real quick what BRRRR is for those who don't know?
Yes.
Thanks, man.
I
Hey,
feel
this is
weird.
really a real estate show.
I feel weird explaining it to the guy who like made it famous. I think it's called like
Remediate.
No,
You guys, terrible.
okay. Buy, renovate, rehab, rent.
You already butchered it, man.
Refinance. There's a lot of R's. So the BRRRR, it's just BRRRR.
Buy, rehab, rent,
Buy,
refinance,
rehab, rent.
You should have asked Lexi.
Buy,
I should have
asked
asked
me.
Lexi.
Buy, rehab,
Come on.
rent, refinance, repeat. That's what we did.
Okay.
So we bought a house for $67,000. We put 30 into it, so we were all in for $97,000. We got it appraised at $165,000. So at the time, interest rates were pretty low, and we had a bank that was giving us, if the numbers worked, they would give us 80% LTV. So we were all in for 97. They gave us 80% of 165. So we were able to pull 118, 120.
They were giving you 80% of what the thing was going to be worth at the end.
No, not until the end. So we used private money.
Okay.
And we bought it and renovated it.
I see.
Then
Okay.
they sent out an appraiser, said it's 165. We'll give you 80% of 165, which came to, I think it was around 120. And so we were able to take that 120. We paid off our private lender. We put 15, 18 grand in the bank, which was more money than we had ever had in the bank at the time. And we still had a house that was cash flowing. I think it rented for $14.50 a month.
Yeah.
And so we still had a house that was cash flowing about $300 a month. And we got done with that first deal and we looked at each other and we're like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
We need to do this full time.
Yeah. And so I legitimately think in the next 2 weeks, I bought like 8 houses. Yeah.
So how did you scale like that? I mean, was it just a matter of like, is there a dial you just turned, or what
we
did you
just
do?
did it.
Where'd the money come from?
So there's a great hard money lending company in St. Louis, Faster Funds Lending. We used them a ton, and they were really helpful too because I didn't know what I was doing, but because they're local, they only lend to investors in St. Louis. They would actually physically send somebody out to every single property to walk it. They would run their ARV on it and they would come back, and they were helpful to me because they would say, yeah, we'll lend on it. And they would lend 100% of the purchase price plus the rehab.
Wait, 100% of purchase price and rehab?
Yeah, if you bought it deep enough, because they're not an institutional lender, they're a local hard money lender, and so they were incredible. They were absolutely incredible to work with.
And that also feels good because you have a second pair of eyes on it, and you know, okay, this is a good deal.
Yeah.
My only flip I ever lost money on, my hard money lender told me not to do it. And I was like,
Really?
screw you. And I went around and found another hard money lender.
Yeah.
And that's when I lost money on. That people will look at banks as like or lenders as they're the bad guy. In reality, they're a second set of eyes.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were, because they did tell us on some, they were like, hey, we're not
don't
going
like
to
it.
lend on this. And I'm like, I'm not going to buy it,
Yeah.
So
we will run away.
It was like, it was like free coaching in a way. And so we used them a
Even
lot.
though it's more interest, I liked that option
'cause
for
I
getting
think
started.
They were at like 12 and 3, but then we quickly found a private money lender that would lend as well, and he was at 12%.
Do you want to explain the difference for those who don't know between private money and hard money?
Yeah, so private money lender is just full disclosure. It's an extended family member. It's an uncle who came to us, and actually we went to him and said, hey, here's what we're doing. We'd already done our first one with a hard money lender. So we showed him like, here's the, like, we buy it at this, we put this into it, we refinance, we're able to pay you back your money plus your interest. And then, we're going to hopefully do it over and over again. And, you make 12% on your money. So a private money lender is just somebody within your network that's giving you money. And then a hard money lender is usually a company or something like that that's loaning you money. So, so we found so we did a couple with Faster Funds, which is a hard money lending company in St. Louis. Absolutely incredible. And then we started utilizing our private money lender. And then over time, I was posting on Instagram, and we just had random people reach out that were like, hey, do you need any sort of funding or anything like that? And so I was pretty good at raising money. And so I was using money from all these different avenues. Yeah, we bought, we bought a ton of houses. And then part, let's back up a little bit. Also, we started wholesaling. That was a part of it too, where we were adding a lot in our active income through wholesaling, where I was buying a ton from wholesalers, and I was like, well, I want to find deals myself. And so just started buying from wholesaler or buying my own deals and doing some of my own marketing. And honestly, I utilize like just my network to buy a lot of houses.
And wholesaling being where you find a deal and then just sell it to another investor and make a little fee.
Yep, exactly. Keep the best, wholesale the rest was kind of our motto. And so
what's the job split between you guys, and was that natural? Did you have to work on it?
It was very natural. And it felt
you guys
like
met at 10 years old, and then business works out.
It's like so natural. It was
blessed.
incredible.
Somehow we had chemistry from knowing each other from when we were 10. But it rolled out really naturally. The way I can best explain it was Cameron was starting everything and I was finishing everything. So he was the visionary, I was the integrator. He was finding the deals, he was analyzing the deals, and I was doing everything after that, managing the rehab, deciding if it was a flip or if it was a rental, finding tenants. Mm-hmm. Is that a good way of describing it?
100%. Yeah, I essentially, my full-time job up until, honestly, recently was buying houses. That was all I cared about. So I was at every networking event in St. Louis. I was at every real estate meetup, anything that there was in St. Louis, I was there. I was meeting people. I was walking houses. I was probably walking anywhere from 8 to 12 houses a day. Like that's all I did was I found houses and I bought them, analyzed them, put them under contract. And then once we bought those houses, I kind of handed that off to Lexi. So Lexi did an incredible job. She built up like probably 5 or 6 crews in the first couple months that were able to rehab houses for us. She started learning property management. She read your book on rental property management.
Oh, it was my Bible for a long time.
But I would buy
wrote majority of that. She gets all the credit there.
I'll tell her thank you.
So I bought houses and then Lexi did the rest.
Yeah. So while he was learning that, I was learning the ins and outs of a rehab. How can I get this done in 2 months and stay on budget?
I love that because I don't do that much real estate anymore, but when I did, I had to do all of it. And I'm very good at starting things, and I'm really bad
That's how I am.
at finishing things.
If I would have bought one house so far if my job was to finish it, because it would still be going on 3 years later.
Where do you stand on this?
Similar. The reason I was so slow is because I was playing like golf by myself. You know what I mean? Like it was a single sport, like a single player game versus like a team sport like basketball, baseball, whatever. So once for years, it was me alone and it was me and Heather, and it was me and Heather for 10 years. Yeah. That got us to 30 some rental units, but what took us from 30 to 8,000 was making it a team sport.